This episode was made possible with the help of our fantastic patrons. You guys are truly awesome. Fear rules those weak enough to accept it. Hello everyone and welcome back to another EDH deck tech brought to you by Affinity for Commander. My name is Alex, and with Halloween coming up, today we thought we'd take a look at the captain of the Predator flagship and the commander of the armies of Wrath himself, the rather terrifying Greven Ilvek. No, not that Greven, this Greven. As always, if you like any of the cards you see here and would like to purchase them for yourself or the entire deck, then be sure to do so through the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything extra and really helps the channel out a lot. And with that out of the way, on to the deck tech. Greven, Predator Captain, is a 5/5 legendary creature human warrior for 3 generic, 1 black and 1 red. He has Menace and reads, Greven, Predator Captain gets +X+0 where X is the amount of life you've lost this turn. And, whenever Greven attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, you draw cards equal to that creature's power and you lose life equal to that creature's toughness. Now behind that stunning artwork, or rather just below, shows the makings of probably the best Voltron style commander in Rakdos colours. Losing life, which isn't a hard thing to do in black, buffs our commander to the point of being able to one-shot people out of the game. He even comes with Menace to make blockers just that tiny bit more awkward to sort out. If an opponent is already on high Greven damage, they'll need to hold up at least 2 blockers, slowing them down and giving you a chance to pile on the power to the Predator Captain. Greven also comes with a kind of reversed Disciple of Bolas effect on attack. Rather than gaining any life, however, you lose life equal to that creature's power, which is some excellent synergy with Greven's first ability. Not only does this give Rakdos card draw on a commander, but because you're losing life equal to those cards that you've just drawn, Greven's power also increases, a fantastic bit of card design. So now we have our theme, losing life to pump our commander. But how exactly can we accomplish this? No matter how tempting it is, we can't just rely on Greven's ability to lose us life for those sweet, important one-hit KOs. Instead, we can use cards like Blood Celebrant, who, with the investment of 1 black mana, can be looped to lose as much life as we please. The same goes for Deepwood Ghoul, Marrow Bats, Mischievous Poltergeist, and Wall of Blood. If you have any of these cards out when Greven attacks, your opponents have to block him. Otherwise, it's pay 16 life to make 1 swole Wall of Blood and a 21 power commander, knocking the defending player out of the game in 1 hit. However, if you're looking for something more impactful to happen with all the life we're losing, then cards such as Blood Tracker can give us a huge flyer, who upon leaving the battlefield can help us replenish our hand, or Doom Whisperer, who helps us to fix our draws with a repeatable Surveil effect. Oh, and a 6/6 Flying Trampled Demon is also nice for 5 mana. Heck, even Treasonous Ogre can be an all-star, converting our expendable life total into mana, allowing us to get ahead of our opponents. But possibly the best card for trying to fit into that standard format life total is Unspeakable Symbol. On the surface, the card's pretty good for buffing our creatures, with no mana cost and no restrictions on timings. But with Greven, this card buffs him by 3 power per the life loss, and then gives him a permanent boost to the power via the addition of a +1/+1 counter. But if we're looking for real card advantage and to lose life like it's going out of fashion, then Bolas's Citadel is a great inclusion. Being able just to flip the top card of your library onto the table and repeat this action until we hit a land is ridiculously powerful, helping us to build our board state and outvalue our opponents, all the while Greven starts to get more jacked. Perfect. Now losing all this life is great for making our commander huge, but even if we have one-shotted 1 player, we'll still have 2 other opponents to contend with, and we've just shredded our life total like some slow-cooked pork. So now we need ways to gain at least a little bit of that life back. Once we've invested a ton of life into Greven, it stands to reason that we need to gain some of it back, and quite quickly. Just like grabbing all the best pancakes at that all-you-can-eat buffet. I really need to stop writing these scripts just before lunch. Cards like Blessing of Bells and Lock, Butcher's Glee, Grotesque Mutation, and Rush of Vitality can all be used to give our beefy commander lifelink, meaning that all the life we've just lost to Blood Celebrant's triggers will be gained back when our commander deals damage. Plus a little bit extra thanks to Greven's initial power and any buffs the cards themselves give. And in the case of Butcher's Glee and Rush of Vitality, they can also be used to save our rather vulnerable captain from some regular combat damage or plain old spot removal. For more static ways of gaining life, we also have Vampiric Link, which gives Greven not quite lifelink, which is fantastic to pair with any of the previously mentioned cards, as you'll get to gain double the life. And let's not forget about the evergreen, or rather ever black, Whip of Erebos. Static lifelink on all of our creatures and the ability to whip back any of our life loss engines should we need it. Such a fantastic card. So now we have ways of making Greven deal lethal damage in one hit and the means of keeping our life totals somewhat stable. Now we need ways to ensure that we get him to hit his target. Beyond the pseudo-evasion that is Menace, Greven can still be chumped blocked by 2 Wii tokens, making all your life-losing efforts kind of pointless. So we need some excellent ways of making sure our Predator captain lands a blow. Prowler's Helm and Whisper Silk Cloak give our commander the evasion we're looking for, with the cloak giving him some much needed protection as well. Another card that I really like for this type of effect is Vorok Battlehorns. Combined with Greven's Menace, it essentially gives Greven Unblockable and Trample, for all that matters, for 3 mana. Another equipment that also gives our commander Trample is Loxodon Warhammer. The lifelink, as previously stated, also helps to live through our opponent's other turns, but the Trample means our commander's damage is definitely going through, whether blocked or not. Speaking of Trample, Temur Battle Rage is still an overpowered card at 2 mana. Giving our commander Double Strike and Trample can easily see a person out of the game after thinking they were safe having blocked the ferocious captain. And speaking of overpowered 2 mana spells, Outmaneuver is a lesser known card that allows Greven to deal damage as though he wasn't blocked. A fantastic bit of instant speed trickery. Now finding a way to win in the game is all well and good, but we can't neglect the fact that our opponents will be trying to do the same. Luckily for us, Black and Red have some fantastic ways of removing any pesky blockers and threats our opponents are laying down. We'll be using cards such as Ashes to Ashes, Devour in Shadow, Reckless Spite, and Vendetta. In addition to removing our opponent's scary creatures, these spells can also be used to remove creatures that would otherwise block our commander, and they also lose us life, making that all-important commander swing all the more powerful. Phyrexian Purge and Fire Covenant are also excellent scalable cards that can remove as many creatures as we want, provided we have the life to pay for it. There's nothing quite like a completely one-sided board wipe against one opponent for 3 mana. But let's take a look at actual one-sided board wipes. After all, Plague Wind effects are very powerful, if a little costly in terms of mana. But what if we could destroy all of our opponent's creatures for only 5 mana? Chandra's Ignition in the right situation can see us decimating our opponent's board presence and leaving our commander untouched, swole, and ready to take someone out. Additionally, this spell deals a heap of damage directly to our opponent's faces, which may very well be enough to KO some players by itself. Personally, I think the card is really slept on, but is great when we're making one high-powered creature. So now we have our battle plan. Attack with Greven, lose life, kill an opponent, gain life, repeat until victory is ours. Now we need to ensure we have the cards in hand to do just that. as we can't just be relying on Greven's sack ability for our card draw. But let's make sure our card draw also feeds into the theme of the deck. Read the Bones, Sign in Blood, Succumb to Temptation and Night's Whisper are all fantastic ways to keep our hand stocked and keep the pressure on by making our commander have +7 power every turn. I especially like Greed for this, as the ability is repeatable and can be activated at any time if you have the mana and life. Did your opponents just declare no blockers? Then all open black mana now goes straight into Greed. Fill your hand and take a chunk out of your opponent's life total. What's not to love? With the addition of cards such as Ambition's Cost, Ancient Cravings, Live Fast and Painful Lesson, you'll have more than enough card draw to find the life loss, life gain, evasion and removal spells you will need to win the game, whilst also drawing more than enough mana to easily cast them for when the time is just right. Trust me, you won't find a better card draw package outside of blue. Now, if we're looking to upgrade from our fairly budget list here, then some of these cards will definitely knock the deck up a gear or two. Kirik, Son of Yawgmoth, not only helps us cast any black spell without spending black mana, but the addition of Phyrexian mana is on point with the life loss theme. Speaking of more life loss, Necropotence is still amazing, and I would argue is more deserving of a spot with Greven than just any other black deck. It has the great repeat loss ability of Wall of Blood, but you can also get some insane card advantage from it. And then of course there is the absolute flavor win of Hatred. It is a very good card, but come on, it's Greven literally threatening to butcher Gerard. How can you not love having this card in the deck? Greven is just one of those commanders that you always have to be wary of when playing against. As soon as he attacks, life can be lost at a moment's notice, and any manner of buff or double striking effects can be applied, resulting in the death of a player before they even grasp what is happening. He is an instant speed Voltron style commander in Rakdos, and definitely not one to be underestimated, as Tangrath was one to find out. Okay, yes, he did beat him later on, but we're going to leave that bit for now, okay? And that is our deck tech for Greven Predator Captain. But now I want to know what you guys think. Is there anything else you would add to this life loss deck, or any other upgrade options you see as a good fit? Whatever your thoughts, be sure to put them in the comments below. And if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to like this video and subscribe to see more. And if you really like us, you could consider becoming a patron of the channel yourself, or following us on Twitter @4commander. Links are in the description below. And as always, we'll see you next time.